Story number 1.
Good afternoon. We have a lot of things to discuss today regarding your son, the director said as she looked around her huge office. Hello? I left work early on purpose so that I could have time to discuss with you all the issues related to my son. What happened that Annabelle herself, my esteemed Annabelle, called me? I said it as if the Queen of England herself had summoned me. Very funny, Victor. Our long-standing relationship has no bearing on the fact that your son should be treated any differently. Oh, come on. What's the matter? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Your son follows me around like a tail. He leaves love notes under my door, and yesterday he pinned me down outside the bathroom and tried to kiss me. I'm the principal of this school. Your son is a student. What is this? Annabelle said in a stern tone, looking me straight in the face. My unforgettable feelings must have been inherited by him. What's the big deal? He's in 11th grade. Hang in there for another 6 months, and you'll forget it like a bad dream. Me and him will disappear from your life, I said with a chuckle. She took a deep breath, probably because she was sad that it would all be over soon, and I only remembered my old feelings and emotions when I was around. It was starting to get dark. I rested my head on her shoulder, falling asleep and waking up abruptly from exhaustion. How about a cup of coffee? I can see you're tired after work. You'll fall asleep in my office, Annabelle said, setting the cups and treats on the table. I won't say no to that. Do you have a couple drops of cognac in your coffee? Yes, Cess. That night, we sat in her office until well into the night. We talked about old times, reminisced about our life together. Nostalgia came over us. I was about to leave, looking at my watch and noticing that it would soon be morning, but I changed my mind because, frankly speaking, I didn't feel like going home at all. We were sitting there, having finished a bottle of cognac, which we had planned to consume only with coffee. But, alas, the plans for it changed abruptly. We'd already forgotten why we'd come. We were too engrossed in a former relationship that never seemed to end. I hesitated, but made the first move by kissing Annabelle, to which she pulled away from me, but after thinking for a few seconds, kissed me even harder than before. She wanted lots of kisses, and I gave her that all night. And then we lay together in that office all night. I don't consider it cheating on my wife, because in body and soul, I was always with Annabelle, but on paper, I was with another woman. In the morning, when the students started arriving, we were already awake and dressed. I looked out the window and saw my son walking up the stairs to school, and I remembered how he had a crush on my ex-girlfriend with whom I had just spent the night. And now that girl is the principal of the school, and my son is like me. I also like women who are much older than me.
Story number 2.
It happened recently. I was at summer camp and was one of the oldest kids in my troop. The night before we left, we decided to have a farewell party. After each troop performed, the party started. The music was loud, the bass was rattling, and everyone was dancing vigorously. Along with us, the counselors, who were young and beautiful girls, joined the party. Among them was Samantha, who evoked special emotions in me during my stay at the camp. However, the DJ suddenly made an announcement. He announced that the final song of our wonderful evening would be heartfelt and soulful. The guys asked the girls to dance, and they gladly agreed. A slow tune started playing, filling the air with soft music, and everyone started looking for a partner. I saw this as my chance and asked Samantha if she wanted to be my dance partner. She seemed a little shy, but there was a mischievous glint in her eyes as she appraised my body with a playful glance. Slowly she reached out to me, and we began to twirl on the dance floor. The warmth of the summer evening, the scent of the humid air, and the sight of Samantha's slender figure in my arms created a truly enchanting moment. Everything had a mesmerizing effect on me. "You are so beautiful today." I complimented her, but then added, as I always did. This made her laugh, and she looked at me as if she wished for something. Then she put my hand in hers and led me somewhere. I did not resist, for I was curious. We came to the cabin where the counselors lived. There was no one here but us. We sat down on the bed. I was beginning to suspect something. "Michael, thank you. I've never seen guys like you before. Confident, efficient, proactive, and just plain cool. Thank you too. You're the best girl I've ever seen. I'm gonna miss you." "You know," she started to say in a velvety tone, "I know how to make sure you don't forget me." That's when I finally realized what was about to happen. Her eyes locked on me. I was ready to put my lips to hers when she pushed me away, making me flop down on the bed, and stood up and headed for the door. There was a sound, turning the latches. "Samantha?" But before I could say anything, she started unbuttoning her shirt. A slight shiver ran through my body. I didn't do anything but lie there and stare at Samantha. And after a few moments, I really got what I remembered for the rest of my life. About a month later, Samantha called me and said she wanted to meet me and tell me something important. But was this what happens when you were alone with a girl? My hands started shaking. I didn't know what to do or how to act. Story number 3. My name is Timothy. I have been in my line of work for quite some time now. I am currently 39 years old and work as a driver. I have a loving wife and adorable children. However, let's talk about the past. When I was 21 years old, I was young and full of life, radiating beauty and self-confidence. Although her looks were ordinary, her sense of humor and ability to charm those around her were exceptional. Men were drawn to her, and she had the ability to win anyone over. Not being a fool, I decided to pursue her. She was a pleasure to be around, and every meeting seemed like a fairy tale. We quickly found a common language, and in 6 months, we tied ourselves in marriage. Her parents kindly left us an apartment, and we happily moved in and began to build our life together. Everything seemed perfect until Barbara's true colors came out. If someone else had been in my shoes, they probably would have laughed and questioned whether it was even worth it to be with her. After all, she really is like a witch from horror movies, beautiful but very dangerous. Life had played a cruel joke on me, and Barbara was helping her to get me down. She constantly berated me, saying that I had no talent, that other men like my neighbor were better than me, and I somehow started to believe it myself until I met her. Abigail, who was 11 years older than me, but age didn't matter. Our meeting took place at a beauty salon, where I had once again decided to change hairdressers due to a previous bad experience. We had a great time, and this salon was head and shoulders above the rest, to say the least. Abigail never criticized me. She was always proud of me and showered me with compliments, telling me that I had great talent and could accomplish anything if I had the desire and the right person by my side. I understood all that, but I still wondered what had happened to Barbara after we were married. Had I changed her so drastically, or had she always been such a bitch? My secret affair with Abigail lasted 5 years. During those years, I could never bring myself to end my marriage to Barbara, either out of pity or for some unknown reason. I would come home and get yelled at. Then I would go to my mistress and get praise. Eventually, my patience ran out, and I made the decision to leave Barbara and let her live her life the way she wanted. Let her go to the neighbor. He will not tolerate her screaming and just might hit her, and that would be the end of it. We divorced, and the interesting thing is that she never noticed my cheating. Maybe she just didn't care about me. I'm now happily married to Abigail. We have beautiful children, enjoy everyday pleasures, and have a deep understanding of each other. What happened to my ex? She is still single today, just no one wants to put up with her yelling, and I was a fool for not leaving her sooner and starting a new family with someone who truly appreciates and loves me. Story number 4. I had a hilarious incident happen to me the other day. As usual, I don't drink very often, but when I do, I like to have a lot. This time, It happened at my sister's birthday party. We were partying at a great pub in town that had a bar, dance floor, and even a quiet seating area. Despite being 33 years old, I've always been a fan of having a great time. My name is Grace, by the way. I have a boyfriend named Douglas who is 9 years older than me. He doesn't like that kind of fun, so he always lets me go out alone. He doesn't worry that someone might try to flirt with me, but it's just a joke to cheer himself up. The birthday celebration went well. We exchanged gifts, said heartfelt words to the birthday girl, made a couple of toasts, and ended up closer to the dance floor. Glass after glass, I lost all sensitivity in my legs and body. The spotlight was making me dizzy. It dawned on me that I should call a cab and go home, before I did something stupid and embarrassed my sister in front of her friends. One of my sister's friends decided to help me out and agreed to drive me home. His face was the last thing I remembered from the holiday. When I woke up in the morning, I struggled to lift my head from the pillow. Looking around, I realized I was in my own bedroom. However, I couldn't remember how I had gotten there. All I could remember was a car that looked like my husband's model. I vaguely remember my sister getting me into the car and flirting with the driver. I remember the driver kissing me passionately and pulling me into the back seat. I can't believe it, but I cheated on my husband with a man I can't even remember. All I have is the memory of his face, and as I held my face in my hands, I decided to gather my thoughts first. Moments of last night flashed through my mind. The touch of his hands on my body, his kiss. Part of me longed to relive that night again, but my conscience reminded me that I had betrayed my husband. "You're awake. Come to breakfast," my husband said. "I made you some broth. You should have fewer parties like this. You always feel bad in the morning." "Good morning. Are you home? I thought you were at work. It's our day off, so we can spend it lying in bed together watching a good movie." "Honey, there's something I need to tell you. I can't remember what it is, but do you want to tell me about last night's crazy night?" My surprise was overwhelming. Did I tell him everything already? Or did he see it? Or does he know what to tell me? I feel so bad. I feel like a cheater. Honey, you were amazing. I've never seen you so intense, passionate, sensitive, and fiery. What other words can I say? They all have to do with you. So I wondered. So it was really you? How did you end up at the bar? I can't remember the moment you showed up. Your sister called me and asked me to come get you. You had a little too much to drink last night. I went to pick you up. Your sister's friend helped you into the car. And then what happened next? Oh, that was something. I didn't know you could do that. Now you can't say no to me. I hugged my husband with great relief and decided to grab a snack to let my head calm the noise. Story number 5. Hi, I'm Emma, a 25-year-old university student. I am currently studying at university, and my close friend Linda is studying with me. We live together in a dormitory and spend all our free time together. Tomorrow, Linda and I are going to her parents' house for the weekend. Her mom is celebrating her birthday, and we are special guests. I'm totally excited about the invitation because I love holidays and a change of scenery. We have a 5-hour train ride to her parents' house, which is now closer to the sea. As we entered the house, my friend's mom greeted us warmly. "Good afternoon, girls." "Emma, you have grown so much. It seems like it's been forever since we last saw you." Their house was truly breathtaking in its grandeur. Bright colors and spacious terrace with large windows overlooking the beautiful garden into the sunset. "Your house is truly unique," I exclaimed, looking around in amazement. Well, 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 Emma and Linda, my girls have arrived. How big they've gotten. How old are you two? 18? Gary, Linda's father, asked with a chuckle. 25, Dad. You always see us as kids, don't you? Linda teased her father, playfully patting him on the shoulder. The evening was filled with laughter, new faces, delicious food and drinks. I indulged myself, knowing I could work it off later in the dorm. Everyone wished the birthday girl well, gave gifts, raised toasts, and had lively conversations. I'm starting to feel sleepy. I'm going to go to my room. Do you mind? I asked Linda, suppressing a yawn. Sure, go. Dad, would you show her to her room, please? Gary escorted me to my room, opening the door and pointing out where everything was. Once inside, I took a quick shower, turned on some quiet music to relax, opened the window to get some fresh air, and finally got into bed. I put in my earplugs, pulled the blanket over me, and drifted into sleep. My sleep was suddenly disturbed. A light touch slowly traveled down my body, making me immediately turn around. To my surprise, it was Gary. Shh. Let's keep it quiet, he whispered. I know you want it too. In my slightly intoxicated state, I couldn't fully comprehend what was happening. I just sat there, savoring the pleasurable sensations his hands were giving me. Everything happened so fast that I barely had time to realize it. It felt like I'd just been woken up, and it was already over. The alcohol clouded my mind, and I found it hard to take in everything that was happening. I hope this stays our little secret, he murmured, closing the door to my room behind him.